What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, oh, have I got wonderful news for you. Look, I come here often, right? And I tell you I've got fun One Piece TCG news that you should be excited about, and I'm never lying about that. I always believe that I'm bringing you fun TCG news from the One Piece card game that you should be excited about. But today, I am bringing you especially exciting news that you should be especially excited about, and you might already be seeing this on the screen right now with Tony Chopper and some candy floss, because I don't know why not. I've had a couple of questions recently, by the way, about, how come I'm always on top of the news, and some people, what a rude person, telling me that I think I'm always right about stuff. The answer very simply is, this is my job covering TCGs, which means I can dedicate a lot more time to this than your average person. But also, I've been doing this a long time. I've got a really good network of friends who helps me. And along those lines, I do want to give a massive shout out to Veeks right now, who has been awesome at sending me One Piece TCG news for the past couple of weeks, and is just generally a lovely person. So shout out to them. So what is on the screen right now? Well, you should recognize this. Well, not the picture. This is the first time I've shown you the picture. But in the top left-hand corner, it says EB-01. This is the first ever special set. EB stands for Extra Booster 01. This is the Memorial Collection. And if anybody's wondering, the Japanese letters, the katakana directly above One Piece card game, literally just says Memorial Collection in katakana. And this is one we've been waiting for. We did have news about this a couple of weeks ago. But you know the way it goes at this point. The first news we get actually comes from distributors in the West who give us some information, but don't give us everything and don't give us any pictures. We then get the official reveal in Japanese, which gives us pictures, confirms the information. We go through the reveal cycle in Japan, where they show us all of the cards, and then we go through the reveal cycle in English, showing us, essentially, to be honest with you, the same cards. Well, we've reached the Japanese reveal, and I am delighted, because I told you about this. And I know this because I saved the picture from the distributor website, so I can tell you that I found out about this and shared it with you on the 26th of September. That was over 2 months ago at this point. Now I can finally show you this. So we've got Tony Chopper on the front of the pack, but there are several things about this that are different, and this does need to be borne in mind. This is an extra booster pack. So if you're a fan of the Digimon card game, for instance, and I know we don't cover that like we used to, and I'm sorry, but one thing I did cover in a lot of detail was EX-01. This is EX-01, but for Digimon. This is not the regular cadence of packs. We've just got OP-06 over in Japan. We are actually leading up to OP-05 over here. It's coming out in a week, as I recall this. And OP-07 is going to be announced in the not too distant future. This is separate. This does not replace one of those sets. This is in addition to it. OP-07 is not going to be later because EB-01 is coming out. OP-07 is going to come out at the time it was always going to come out. Nothing is going to change. This is going to slot in as an extra booster pack, hence EB-01, in addition to all of the other things that we are getting. Good. So what do we actually... Oh, and also, as a side note, we've been getting double packs for all the sets so far? Well, starting in OP-04 moving forward, don't expect a double pack for this, because this is a different kind of set. It is an extra set. What are we told? Not enough. We've got a confirmed release date of the 27th of January, which, as a side note, that's a Saturday. Which is weird, because sets generally release on a Friday. This is honestly just a little bit confusing. I don't know why it's releasing on a Saturday. They always release on Friday. Maybe it's because it's an extra booster. We are told contains cards that strengthen various decks that have appeared so far. Well, thank goodness. What a lot of detail we've got there. Thank goodness they told us. It's going to be 220 yen per pack. 6 cards per pack, which is actually, remember, not unusual in Japan. It's just unusual over here, but we're probably going to have bigger packs. And there are only 3 leaders. There are only 61 separate cards rather than the usual 120 something. 28 common, 21 rare, 8 super rare, and 1 secret rare. Few things that are interesting about this. 3 leaders rather than the usual 6. It's not expected to shake up the metagame as much as a regular set, but we do still get 3 new leaders. There are 8 super rares rather than the usual 10, i.e. not that fewer. 1 secret rare rather than 2. But then there's lots of commons and rares. No uncommons here. Essentially, the set's like half as big, but we've got 80% of the super rares, which means that actually a higher proportion of the set is super rare and rare. And obviously, there's no uncommon. It's going to be interesting to see what the pull rates for this set are like. As it stands at the moment, we don't know what the pull rates are. I can't tell you. Hopefully, they're better than normal, because otherwise, there's more rares and super rares to try and get. So you're just going to end up with a ridiculous amount of commons, and the super rares are going to get annoying to find. But hopefully the pull rates will be adjusted. I have no information about that. When I do, I'll let you know. Just to remind you what we were told by distributors when we first found out about this set, the lineup includes characters who have had relatively fewer holo cards, such as Chopper, Brook, Odin, and Kyros. And of course, Chopper is on the front of the pack here. Chopper leader? Nah, don't rely on it. Remember OP06 had Sanji and Zoro on the front of the pack and they weren't leaders. Could be a Chopper secret rare though. It could be the one secret rare in the set. That would be in keeping with what we've seen before. We've also been told that existing players won't want to miss the pack, as it includes many cards that build on themes found in previous decks, like Dressrosa, we were told about Kyros, Baroque Works, and Impel Down. So there's some of the information we've had before. As a side note, the information we got from distributors matches perfectly with what we've got here in terms of the rarity breakdown. 3 leaders, 28 commons, 21 rare, 8 super rare, 1 secret rare. And then they also told us there were going to be 1 Don, which isn't confirmed on the Japanese site, but generally isn't, so I wouldn't read too much into it. Wish I could tell you more about this set. That's what we know. I am extremely excited. This is one that I have absolutely got my eye on. This one is going to be awesome. And it's coming out in like less than 2 months, so the reveals for this should start coming pretty thick and fast. I will be here like I always am to guide you through them. But there's one other piece of news which has come out this morning which you really need to know about, which makes me really happy and really sad. You see, they've gone and redone the prize cards over in Japan for flagship battles. You can see the banner on the screen that features a Dracula Mihawk. This one I'm very happy about. This is a very cool looking card. If we get, now it does depend on attendance, if there are 64 people, this will be given to the top 2. If there aren't, i.e. if there's only 32, it's given to the winner. The general rule is there's generally 32 people, some stores can have 64, and if there's 64, they basically double the prizing. So usually 32 people, this is given to the winner, but for stores that are holding 64 people tournaments, this is given to the top 2. And it is just a straight reprint of the Dracula Mihawk from OP-01. Simple as that. 9 cost, 9,000 power, and on play you can take up to 1 7 cost or lower character and put it at the bottom of the owner's deck. It's a decent card. Of course, it did have an alternate art in OP-01 as well, drawn by the lovely Akira Igawa, who I've said many times is my favourite artist in the One Piece TCG. So we know by now this is a good card. This sees a huge amount of play in blue decks because removal of a 7 cost is actually really good. That is good removal. Not a lot of stuff can remove a card that big. But then you've also just got like a 9,000 power character sitting out there, really good for attacking. So, yeah, it's a really good card, seen a bunch of play. We know this. This is fine. The bit that makes me slightly unhappy, but also happy, I'm very ambivalent about this, the Perona. Top 8, or if there are 64 players, top 16, get a Perona. I've made no secret of the fact over the past couple of weeks that Perona is one of my favourite One Piece characters, along with Smoker and Tashigi. I think Perona's cool. I think her power is incredibly unique, makes her some really fun issues of the manga. And also, my daughter saw some Perona cards the other day when I was making a video. And yeah, my daughter likes pink and purple. My daughter thinks Perona's amazing. I need this card now. Now, thank goodness the Mihawk is the winner card and this is the top 8 card. That will at least drive value down a little bit. But this is going to be one of the few One Piece cards that is not that cheap that I am just going to have to bite the bullet and go and buy, because I'm building a Perona collection. I need this card. And actually, if you are a Perona fan, you've been eating good lately. Remember, back in EB-01, Perona was actually a box topper, which was extremely cool. And then everything went a little bit quiet, couple cards. But then EB-06 just happened, and in EB-06, Perona went a bit nuts. This is actually just a reprint of the character Perona from EB-06, who does actually have an old art in that set. So we've already got 3 versions of the super rare Perona from EB-06. What it actually works is, on play, if your opponent has got 5 or more cards in their hand, then you can either make them trash a card from their hand or reduce one of their characters' cost by 3 for the turn. But it's also got counter plus 2,000. So if your opponent has 5 or more cards in hand, this is amazing. If your opponent doesn't, then yes, it's a significantly weaker card, don't get me wrong. But then you've also still got the counter plus 2,000, which can come and help out quite nicely as well. And then let's not forget that in EB-06, we also got the leader, and because it was the leader, there's an alternate art there as well. So that's 5 fancy Perona cards we've had in the space of a couple of weeks. And for people like myself trying to build a Perona collection, difficulty just increased quite a lot. But also, these cards are amazing. And you know the deal by now when it comes to these flagship battle cards. They debut in Japan, and then they come over here. And they do come over here as trophy cards. So they're going to be at tournaments in the not too distant future. You're going to be able to get yourself the Mihawk, and you're going to be able to get yourself the Perona. And then I have to try and figure out trying to get the English version as well. But that's for me to worry about. For now, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about EB-01? What do you think about these trophy cards? What are your predictions for EB-01? Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and card games and all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.